Good afternoon, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman here on your Wednesday evening. It is currently April 16th, and just before 5 here with a quick video update going over a severe threat that could develop both Thursday night and Friday night. To start off, though, we will say that this threat is very conditional, depending on what will happen with the atmosphere in terms of a capping inversion, which I'll talk about here in just a second. But starting off with our temperatures over the next 48 hours, you can see today's temperatures well into the high 40s, even 50 in spots. We cool down into the low 30s overnight, below freezing, some frost possible out there. And then we warm up on Thursday into the 60s, perhaps even mid 60s in places, and close to 70 down by the border. In the UP, it'll still be a little bit chilly out there with temperatures in the 50s. And then as we move into Friday, when the best chance for severe weather happens, we see our warm front there right across the I-96 corridor from west to east across the state, Muskegon over to Port Huron. Those temperatures down there in red are in the high 70s, anywhere north of the front. Still going to be a nice warm day out there, but temperatures closer to the mid 60s. And even a cooler one up there in the Keweenaw Peninsula, western UP, where temperatures will be in the mid to low 40s. Now, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and look at our Storm Prediction Center convective outlooks for the next couple days. Today, nothing going on out there. You can see up here in the top left that there is no thunderstorms projected for the rest of the evening. We move into our Thursday time frame. Thunderstorms are possible throughout the day. This time frame for their Storm Prediction Center time period here is going to be through 8 a.m. on Friday. So this encompasses through 8 a.m. Hazards are not really there. Again, the severe weather threat is off to the west, as indicated here on the next three maps. I wanted to draw attention to our map here because we've noticed in the last couple hours that a very brief, isolated severe threat could develop, especially along West Michigan, central western Michigan, up towards even Traverse City area in the next coming hours. As we put out here, there's a limited risk in effect. This is not for anything in terms of tornadoes. Again, the risk there is 0.9 or lower. The risk for severe weather on Thursday night into Friday morning will be for damaging winds and especially some isolated hail events, 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. But again, as you can see here on the screen, that your probabilities are around 1 to 5%. So it's still pretty low, but it's something we'll be watching. And in the next forecast update coming tomorrow, we may just combine the two outlooks as one day with two different severe risk happening. It would make a lot of sense if we just combine them. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into the model runs here as to what is actually going to be happening in the atmosphere. So flipping it over to surface-based CAPE right off the bat here. Nothing today, obviously. Then you move into the Thursday night into Friday morning time frame. A lot of the storms that will fire on Thursday at evening into Friday morning will not be surface-based. They'll be elevated in nature, so nothing too strong to severe. However, you can see our surface-based CAPE does build in for Friday. On Thursday, though, we have to look at, again, those, if I can find it here. We have to go to the NAM here real quick because the NAM has the best view on the atmosphere for your Friday morning. As you can see here, we're looking at a skew-T that has a lot of elevated CAPE above a capping inversion down here at the lower levels of the atmosphere. So that being said, we'll have a lot of, I guess you'd say, a better chance for hail. Not so much for damaging winds, but any storms that do come on shore Thursday evening into Friday morning will have the chance to become a little bit gusty in nature. So again, kind of put things together right now. Low end severe risk for Thursday night into Friday. Now we got to go take a look at our Friday risk, which is indicated here on your screen from yours truly here at MSC. A medium risk with significant severe is possible. Again, these maps are available on Facebook. The reason being is for that severe hail and severe wind, mainly south of 96, could extend all the way up there into the Tri-Cities region. The significant risk actually goes up into the US 10 region as of right now, and then the severe risk goes all the way up in lower capacity towards Gaylord and Alpena. Again, with the lapse rates so significant in nature, around 8 to 9 degrees Celsius change, that is Grounds for some significant hail, perhaps 2 inches in diameter. We'll have to look at it more tonight when we do our live briefing. But just to give you an idea of what to expect, hail is going to be the main risk, followed by damaging winds, and then a low-end tornado threat, which could be seen here on your screen. We only have a 3 to 5% chance there in brown and a 1 to 3 in green. Again, very conditional based on if the capping version can break. So that capping version can be spotted actually on our latest HRRR run at 18Z. We forward it all the way to about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We'll take one right from the Ionia area. You can see that little lip there in the atmosphere. So what's happening here is we have temperatures that are gradually changing with height. They're getting cooler as you go. But right here, at about 2 kilometers to 3 kilometers off the ground, that red line jolts back to the right, meaning it's following the about 12 degrees Celsius temperature gradient. So that's about 40 to 45 degrees. It just stays stationary at that level. So that warm air parcel cannot lift any further beyond that cap because it's staying at a stationary spot. Once you get past that cap, though, it dramatically decreases again, goes below freezing, and you have all this untapped potential up here, all this instability just getting not used per se, unless an elevated storm can fire and tap into this essentially. Or if temperatures on Friday do end up being a lot warmer at the surface, that red line will start way farther to the right and will overcome that cap, even though there's a cap there. So if temperatures kind of get overdone on Friday, we could see quite the severe weather episode, but as of right now, that is not the current case. We're seeing a lot, that capping inversion being the main primary factor in preventing any storms from building up. We're also looking at the photographs here in the top right. They are very kind of curved and elongated in nature. That is kind of a somewhat of a classic C shape as you go up in height. Again, it's pretty early on in the day. The photographs get a little bit better curved as the evening goes on. So again, any severe thunderstorms that do develop on Friday will also have the chance to produce tornadoes. Kind of a mix of March 30th and April 2nd. Again, we're watching right along that warm front boundary there. As you can see, the most favorable spot as of right now will be along the I-96 corridor, right where that warm front is located. So not further south, again, kind of similar to March 30th. So again, we're going to kind of take those two events that we previously had into account. It's going to be kind of a mix of that, but again, this is one of the first events this year that we've had kind of a capping inversion. The April 2nd one was literally a race of the warm front versus the storms themselves. So right now, all hazards are possible on the table. Again, as mentioned, severe hail, severe winds, and then tornadoes in that order are hazards that we're looking at. And then if we look into our actual projection of storms themselves firing, if it ever loads, we have a bunch of storms firing in Iowa, Wisconsin on the day on Thursday, and then we get into Friday morning. Those storms do move across the shore into Michigan. You can see a couple, maybe a little bit of a linear segment there as it rolls into West Michigan, Central Michigan, even Northern Michigan there around 6 a.m. And those storms move off to the east side of the state by about noon on Friday. So that could be round one, and then as you can see here, no storms firing right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That capping inversion holding strong. We'll have to see in our 00Z update tonight what time that cap might erode, if at all. So stay tuned later tonight here at Michigan Storm Chasers. We'll have you covered from beginning to end in terms of briefings and eventually severe weather coverage. Before I leave today, our shout out of the day or sponsor of the day is going to be On Top Roofing. 810-588-3933 is our Livingston County sponsor for all your roofing, new and old placement needs. Feel free to contact On Top Roofing. All of our sponsors that we do also have here at MSC can be found scrolling at the top of your screen. If you'd like to contact any of them, feel free to pause and write down the numbers. So with that being said, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma signing off for today. We hope you have a good one, and we'll see you perhaps later tonight for our briefing here at Michigan Storm Chasers.